Welcome into Prop 5, a show on the 5 Reasons YouTube channel. I'm Ethan Skolnick. You can follow me at Ethan J. Skolnick. And at 5 Reasons Sports, we've got our guy Ross Brown. You can find him in Massachusetts, which is one of the states where Prize Picks is legal. It is still legal in 31 states. So that's what we recommend you use if you're outside the state of Florida while they sort that out. Use the code 5, F-I-V-E. Get that initial deposit matched up to $100. Again, the code 5. You don't have to put the 100 down. You don't have to put the 100 down if you don't want to. You put 10 down, they'll match that. But again, they're only going to do the match once, and then there are no rollovers, which is a pretty cool thing. So use the code 5, F-I-V-E. Get that initial deposit matched up to $100. Interesting slate of games here in the NBA tonight, Ross. We got the Pelicans and the Pelicans and the Magic, the Bulls and the Rockets. Rockets may get into the play-in at this stage. They won 6 in a row. The Jazz and the Mavericks. Jazz are tanking at this stage. The Mavericks are trying to hold on to a regular playoff spot. The Hawks and the Suns, not as interesting there. Kings and Wizards, Nets and Bucks, and then the marquee game tonight, the 9 o'clock game, the red-hot Knicks at the Nuggets. And again, the Knicks are still shorthanded, but they're playing well. Tibbs is looking for a way to Josh Hart to play 65 minutes. Ross, I know you've got some props on the non-Knicks Nuggets games first, so let's get to a couple of those, and then we'll focus on the spotlight game of the night.
Yeah,
what do you like?
Let's look at the Rockets game. Alperen Sengun is out. He's going to be out for a little bit. He's been out since March 10th. In the last 3 games, Jalen Green has averaged 28 points per game. His line right now today, 23.5. He has been on fire. He hit this line at halftime his last game. I think that he's been phenomenal. In the past 3 games, since Sengun's been out, he's been averaging 31 points per game. So I'm absolutely loving this pick for Jalen Green.
All right, so Jalen Green over. Again, the Bulls they're in the play-in right now, actually, on the back end of it, which they're fine with mediocrity, it seems. So, yeah. Again, the Rockets trying to get into the play-in in the West. All right, so liking Jalen Green over. Anything else prior to Knicks Nuggets tonight?
Yeah, let's look at Kyrie Irving. I mean, he's been the hot guy in the NBA lately since everyone's talking about Ramadan and everything, but the stats back that up, honestly. It's been 11 days for Ramadan. He has been averaging 6.5 rebounds per game and 8.5 assists per game since that span. So it's been 11 days. He's been hot. So his rebounds and assists line is at 10. He's averaging more than that, clearly, with those stats. He has been absolutely on fire. I love the over of that. His line for rebounds or assists is 5 each. You can smash those. He's going to absolutely go over both of those, I think, tonight.
All right, so Kyrie over. Imagine if he could actually eat. You got one other one prior to Knicks Nuggets.
Yeah, I do. Zion Williamson, another guy that's been just killing it on every single level. Points, rebounds, assists. So his line is at 33.5 points, rebounds, assists. He smashed this over the past 5 games. 41.2 he's been averaging. So he's got about 8 points, rebounds and assists to kind of play with on his average. He's been hitting it past 5 games, so I love that pick.
Doesn't feel like they've caught up to him yet. He goes through these stretches where for 3 or 4 weeks he just kills it. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, an injury comes, and then he has a setback, and he has to work his way back in. But he's been healthier than some of the Heat guys this year, so I can't knock it this season. All right, let's pivot over to the Knicks and Nuggets. And again, it's kind of a weird deal here because the Knicks, Anunoby was in, out. Randall's still trying to get back. They still don't have Mitchell Robinson for the Knicks. Nuggets reasonably healthy right now still. They've been arguably the best team in the league since the All-Star break. What do you see here in the 9 o'clock Eastern start?
Just watching Knicks games over the past couple weeks, you've seen Jalen Brunson's usage just skyrocket. He's been putting up a lot of shots. The past 3 games, he's putting up about 28 shots per game. So I want to smash his over field goal attempts, 20.5. Like I said, last 3 games he's been on fire. I don't think that the Knicks will win this game, but I think he'll put up a lot of shots, creating a lot of opportunities for his team. He's loving to shoot the ball. So over 20.5 field goal attempts, I think that's definitely a lock.
Yeah, I think they're going to try to get Jokic in the pick and roll as much as possible. And then Brunson comes off the pick and roll and shoots that little runner in the lane, which he's quite good at. In fact, Draymond Green recently saying that they didn't really have an answer for him. Everybody talks that he did. They're all talking about him. Mike Brown talked about him that way also as well. Anything on the Nuggets side that you would play?
Nuggets side, yeah. Michael Porter Jr., he's a guy that's been a heat killer the last time that he played us. So 16.5 is his points today. He's hit that the last 4 or 5. He's averaging 20.6 in that span. 16.5. I love the over. No OG Anunoby to be defended on him. No Julius Randle. Mitchell Robinson's out as well. I think that he'll be able to, like I said, go into the mid-range. The Knicks are a little bit shorter if they don't have Anunoby on him. I think he's going to be able to get that mid-range. I think he'll be able to knock down some shots over there.
Interesting to see if Josh Hart guards him most of the time or if they put Hart on Murray. All right, so some of the props that we like there, that Josh likes there. So play some of those. Again, Knicks, Nuggets, Brunson over, Michael Porter over, Kyrie over on rebounds and assists, Zion over on the overall numbers. This one too. Let's look at this one. The Jokic over under 8 assists before we close.
Jokic over 8 assists. His last 4, he hasn't hit that line. He got 11, or he got 12 on March 11th against Toronto. I wouldn't hate this line. You know, like I said, if OG Anunoby, Randall aren't there, Mitchell Robinson isn't there, I don't hate the line. I would go over on that. I do think it'll be a little bit more of a passive game for him, because he just randomly has those games where he has 15, 16 assists. I could see that coming, especially if he hasn't hit that in his last 4.
All right, so follow Ross's picks on Twitter as well. What's the Twitter handle again? I gotta memorize.
It's at Ross Brown _.
Okay, always forget where the underscore is. So at Ross Brown _ Again, our Heat fan in Massachusetts. He's in witness protection up there. Use the code 5FIVE. Got the initial deposit matched up to 100. I'll close with this. Luka over under the 29.5 points against the Jazz. I will go over on that. The Jazz have been doing this kind of stealth tank now for the last 3 weeks. The other prop I like on there, just looking over, Colin Sexton's been very consistent of late. I would play him over on straight points. Actually, I'd play over Sexton over on straight points. All right, thanks for joining, Ross. Appreciate it. Thanks to David Eversole for producing. He'll be back with us over the weekend. We've got the Heat playing the Pelicans and the Cavaliers over the weekend. So a couple of interesting games if they actually suit anybody up. We will be here to play the props. Have a good one, everyone.